Hello everyone, my name is Appleguy, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. In the previous video, we played some minigames in Mabe Village and eventually worked our way down here to Tail Cave, the first dungeon of the game, which we can open now that we have the Tail Key. If you have missed any of the previous videos, I recommend heading into the description down below. There's a playlist to, a link to a playlist called LP Shorts, which will give you a 60 seconds or less recap of the previous episodes you have missed. Now that I've covered that, let's head in and see what we can find inside level 1 Tail Cave. So Tail Cave is a very, very easy dungeon. You can't really expect much out of a first Zelda game dungeon. You know, they're easy. They start easy. So we're gonna be able to blaze through this one, I think, pretty quickly. Here's our first small key. You can use it to open small locked doors. Alrighty, no worries there. Defeat all those enemies. We can get our second chest, I guess. No, first chest. This is the compass. It shows you where the chests and the nightmare is located. The nightmare is what they call the boss in this game. So you can see if we look at our map here, well, you can see where we are. We are that guy flashing on the screen. You can see all the chests as well. And then the nightmare, which is the boss, is in the top right of the dungeon. Very small dungeon, not large at all, but it's a good one, which is what's important. We get a very valuable item in here as well, so it's definitely something we are going to want to be on the lookout for. Okay, so anytime that sound occurs and the compass flashes, that means there is a piece of loot we can get from a chest. So we will be doing just that. Can't open it from the side, unfortunately. Open it from the top, though, and get our second small key. We have 2 of them now, which means if we see 2 locked doors, boy oh boy, are they in trouble. Here we have some Keese enemy, classic Zelda enemy. We also have some cracked bricks. If you step on them for too long, they will fall, like that. Let's head up. All right, over there to the left, you can see there's a wall. It appears to be a cracked. We'll have to worry about that sometime in the future. That right there is a blade trap. Of course, it swings out at you like a blade. All right, another room here. We've got some enemies here that I believe we can we not sprinkle magic powder on them? We can't. I'm thinking of a different enemy, I guess. We should just avoid these, I say as I get hit by them continuously. Very good, very good. This right here is an owl statue. It has no beak. But if we were to find the beak, we would be able to give it the ability to speak. We'll do that in the future. All right, here we have some spiny enemies. Let's see, what can we do with the spiny? Should we... Oh, I have no health. That's kind of crazy. Oh, I know what we should do. How about we flip them over? There we go. There we are. Okay, give me that heart as well to stop the beeping. There we go. For the fans. And some stairs. Wow, they magically appear. We'll say, I am kind of surprised I got that low on health. Okay, here we have our first instance of a side-scrolling section. Just like in Super Mario, there are some side-scrollers. And you may also notice this Super Mario enemy, the Goomba that I just slashed. Yeah, Goombas are in this game. They just like to be here. You know, who are we to tell the Goombas not to hang out? All right, so let's go ahead and get that open, or get that blade trap set off. If we open this chest here, we will get the dungeon item, Rock's Feather. You got the Rock's Feather. It feels like your body's a lot lighter. So if we head into our items and equip Rock's Feather, Dwayne the Rock Johnson's Feather, we can press our button to jump. Ta-da! So now we can jump over gaps or enemies. So that's very good. Obviously going to be incredibly useful. Look at how easily we just went through this section. Fortunately, I can't jump up the ladder. But that's going to be incredibly useful, because now anytime there's an obstacle, like a hole in the floor, we can jump. It looks like we can also do a nice jump slash if we jump in midair. Okay. Why don't we go ahead and crack open this chest now, see what's in here. Another small key. We are just blazing through this. Let's actually check the map real quick. So we're missing this room in here, which I think is behind that cracked wall, so we're gonna have to look at that at some point. Okay, let's see, why don't we go back? We're kind of on a roll, which is a good thing, but let's go back over here and go through this door and then go all the way over to the right side and see what we can't find over here. We've got some skeletal enemies that we're going to need to back into a wall to defeat them. A wall or a corner obviously would work as well. Walls and corners are very similar in terms of properties when it comes to defeating skeleton-like enemies. Very good. We can get a chest over here. And above us to the north is a one-way wall, or a one-way door, I suppose I should say. We have the dungeon map, which will give us outlines of different rooms. Ta-da. Yes, so this is a one-way door. If we step into it, we can be imprinted into the wall, but we cannot go back the way we came. That is okay. We will survive. Let's go through here. This locked door, we'll use one of our 2 small keys. Some more enemies are afoot. We can go up. Aha, here we have enemies called 3 of a kinds. Well, you have to make them be 3 of a kind. Otherwise, they will reanimate and come back to attack you. So I guess we're going for all diamonds. I screwed it up. Okay, we're going for lucky spades. There we go. Lucky spades. Got him. Thank heavens. This will grant us a chest. I believe this one contains a not so useful item because I'm an expert at this game. But if you're not an expert, then the stone beak can be helpful for you. You found a stone beak. Now to find an owl statue to fit it into. If you place the owl statue in the stone beak, you can get a hint. Turn aside the spined ones with a shield. So yeah, they can provide puzzle hints if you are ever stuck on a puzzle. That one about the spined enemies getting flipped over is related to the enemy we fought much earlier. Right before we got the Rock's Feather, I believe. This enemy here is a little goofy. He's got a gigantic spiky pole that he is going to continuously toss back and forth. And we need to jump over it and give him some smacks as he goes. I did not fight him very efficiently. I could have done that a lot better. That's okay, though. Here we have a fairy. Fairy will heal us. And this will take us back to the start of the dungeon, I believe. A little bit of a warp panel in case we need to make a quick exit. It does. Okay, so let's go ahead. What should we do? We should return to the main central room of the dungeon. Step out and in. There we go. Yes, let's head back to the main central room. If we go up north from this room, we'll be facing the nightmare, which we aren't... Oh man, I pressed the wrong button. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, we got it this time. Perfect. All right. Yeah, we're not ready to face the nightmare quite yet, but we will be soon enough. We just have to have faith in ourselves to do this challenge. All right, if we go over here, we can jump across this gap and experience a locked block. A locked block is basically a locked door, but, you know, flat. As not to confuse you. Here we have a nightmare key you can use to open the door to the nightmare's lair. Very, very good. Now, the dungeon map here says there's a chest in this room right here. And we can't get this chest. This is the last one that we can see, so I want to figure out how to do it. I don't believe it would be defeating all the enemies, but I can try to do so regardless. You know, potentially that is the solution, but honestly doubt it. There's a little bit of a worm enemy, perhaps a Moldorm could be what it is called. Okay, let's see if we can't defeat this Keese. Is one remaining enemy, and then this second Moldorm is also a remaining enemy, which we can give it a nice spin attack. Oh, that was it. It was defeating all the enemies. Nice. Well, I'm glad we did that. Aren't you? Yes, we are. Open this up and get ourselves some rupees. 20 rupees. Joy. Joy indeed. We need that because we have to play that bottle minigame still. Or the minigame in the fishing area for the bottle. Real quick, I want to note, if you pull out your sword and tap it against a wall, it makes this sound. If you tap it against a cracked wall, it makes this sound. A bit of an auditory clue that the cracked walls aren't what they seem, and that we should keep them in mind for the future. At some point, we might want to tackle them. Alrighty, let's go ahead and make our way towards the Nightmares room now, right over here, and north from this room. We've done a pretty thorough job so far of battling different things. There is the Nightmares door. Let's go ahead and explore down here first, though, just to see what we've got going on. Golly, look at them! Look at those guys. They are not having a good time. I'm actually shocked that's in a Zelda game. That's like surprisingly morbid. Hanging skeletons? Yikes. Okay, well, that might be the thumbnail picture. The creepiest dungeon in Zelda history? With a shocked face. Actually, just kidding. Mr. Beast. There's a thing on YouTube thumbnails that are coming out, I think in November, called A/B testing, which allows you to upload 2 thumbnails, and then whichever one performs the best on an audience of random viewers will become the permanent one. Mr. Beast has access to it already, and he said anytime he uploaded a thumbnail with a shocked face versus one with a smiling face, the smiling face always did better. So perhaps the shocked face meta is dead. Let's use the nightmare key on this boss door and enter the lair of the nightmare. It's a flower. Buzz, buzz, outsider. It's Moldorm, ladies and gentlemen, a big version of those worm enemies we had fought earlier. As you can see with Moldorm, you simply need to hit its orange glowy tail when it is exposed, and then you will deal some damage to it. You of course want to be on the lookout and use your Rock's Feather to jump away from it anytime it is acting strange or otherwise being unruly. And voila. Like I said, first dungeon, very simple boss. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. That'll grant us our very first full heart container pickup, which will increase our life by 1. You got a heart container. Your maximum number of hearts increased, and your health has been refilled too. Well, thank you, game. That brings our total up to 5 hearts. Continuing through here, we will see an instrument, the instrument that the owl had told us to go and seek out in Tail Cave. Here we go. You got the Full Moon Cello. Very good. Tell me about the Full Moon Cello. The Full Moon Cello. The Full Moon Cello. I don't speak cello, but if anyone could translate in the comment section, that'd be super helpful. I'm pretty sure he said you should hit the subscribe and like buttons, but I'm not sure. Don't speak cello. Swamp. A path opens in the blooms. Yeah, it's an early Zelda game. They kind of guide you around by just telling you where to go. So yeah, that was Tail Cave. As I said, a very simple dungeon, very easy to pass through quickly. Nothing too fancy whatsoever. We do, however, have to come back at some point when we can figure out how to get this chest here on the map. But for the meantime, that is Tail Cave. We have completed it. We go to our item screen. You can see we now have the Full Moon Cello, a cello that produces a pure, clear sound. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is going to be all for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please hit like and subscribe, and tell your friends about my channel if you think they would enjoy it. It means a lot to me when you guys spread my videos around. And I will catch you guys all back here next time for my next video. Until then, as always, take care.